Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Chris, again. I am Fahteema. Thank you. I just want to take a moment to personally thank everybody for coming out today. We really, really appreciate you and your attendance and hope that you pull something so valuable from this event. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our panelists today. Starting with a model straight from Silicon Valley, known for her iconic tattoo in the center of her chest, and for her dynamic posing. Not just a model, though, a photographer, a stylist, everything in between. A true jack of all trades. Let's bring up Jack Meyer. We love you, Jack!
Miss Jackie.
Awesome. Thank you for coming, Jack.
Thank you.
Without skipping a beat, we're going to get your introductions in, but let's get the next panelist up here. Bay Area native, known for her walk across seas from London to LA, Toronto to New York. Excuse us. Not just a model, but a businesswoman. The true epitome of you can do whatever you put your mind to. Please help me welcome Tondalea. Is she in the bathroom, Tondalea? Okay, well, we'll just continue without Tondalea for now. Take a seat. Pop the bottles. We got them for you. Good money on them bottles. Thank you again, Jack, for coming. If you can just give the people a little bit of information about who you are and what you do.
Sure. Ooh.
No, keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. I'm a fashion runway model from Silicon Valley. I've been trained in Houston, Texas with Neil Hamill Agency and in New York with Dan Show Models. I do trainings myself. I do posing classes and one-on-one training. And, hi, Tondalea.
Yeah, Tondalea, everybody. Sorry. Welcome. We're going to get you a mic right here. Sorry to interrupt you, Jack.
Oh, you're fine.
Just take a seat here.
So, yeah, I do a lot of photography as well. That's how I started, actually, was photographing models back in the day. And I got into modeling later on in life as kind of a hobby. And I am now currently booking gigs, getting consistent work, and kind of like a proponent of knowing that it's never too late to start. And it doesn't matter like where you start or how you start, just start.
Amazing. Thank you, Jack. Round of applause for Jack. We're going to delve a little deeper into your journey and how you started and have you answer some tricky questions today because we want to get deep and we want to get into the more tangible questions for you guys. But I'm going to have Tondalea introduce herself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started and where you're at.
Hi, so my name is Tondalea Smith. I reside in the Bay Area. Just came back from Los Angeles. I started as an independent model. I was blessed enough to have been able to walk Paris, London, New York, Toronto, LA, and Miami Fashion Week as an independent model, meaning I booked it through myself. So I am a living witness that you can book things and don't get discouraged just because you don't have an agency to have that type of background or, how do you say, that umph behind you. You can do it yourself if you really put your mind to it and just put in that work. Also with the business administration along with that too. But you can definitely do it, and I'm a living witness.
Okay, thank you. Honestly, we're going to segue right into our conversation because that is one of our topics. Okay. Which do you prefer, freelance or signed? Did you say you were signed?
I'm signed to smaller talent agencies,
Gotcha,
but
yeah.
not like a current big multinational agency.
Right.
Yeah.
I am also signed. My agency is actually in the room. Hey, shout out Models Inc. And they are scouting. If you haven't gotten the personal link, let us know at lunchtime. We'll get that to you. But I just want to know, you're obviously team freelance, right?
I've been signed as well. I've actually turned down, Wilhelmina before.
What?
Yeah, because I was
tea.
Yes, it's tea, baby. It's tea. It's tea, baby. It's tea. Yeah, it was a sports division. I played volleyball in college as a D1 athlete. before I did my modeling. And for me, knowing how to do certain things, I didn't have the connections though, so it made it harder. I will say it's harder when you're not signed, but I was able to.
Okay, Wilhelmina, that's interesting because that's on my bucket list. I don't know about y'all. Wilhelmina is on my bucket list. How about you, Jack? Did you prefer freelance or sign to your talent agencies?
So I do book some paid work through my talent agencies, but a lot of it I'd say is through word of mouth and through the connections that I make at shows, in the back, and it's through people that you would not even consider would get you a job. So I'd say it's very important to network.
Yeah, of course, like at events like these, so y'all better get some Instagrams in here. I would have to say that I have liked being signed thus far, and that's not just because you're in the room, though. No, I have. They have been very helpful and then very insightful. They have gotten me a few jobs now that I've loved. And freelance has also provided me with opportunities. I am team sign, though. I am trying to get signed in multiple agencies around the world. That is team sign for me. I feel like being signed can present you with more opportunities or bigger opportunities than if you were freelanced. At least they would come a little easier in my mind. That's my opinion about that. So definitely team signed. I don't know about all y'all out there. Yeah, I don't know about that. But
I was team signed too, though. Like,
okay,
we love
you were.
a team sign.
You
like,
were,
I got
okay.
signed, and then as I started to build a name, then yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Okay,
no,
she was
team
like, I got
signed.
this now. I got this now. Okay, so I have another question. Because we all understand how ever-changing the industry is. It's quick pace, right? Some may even describe it as volatile, right? It's just always changing. 1 minute you're hot, the next minute you're not. 1 minute it's in season, 1 minute it's next, or it's not. So with that being said, do you guys recommend that being a model as a career is a logical or safe choice to make? Or should models keep in mind the ever-changing industry and have something else, either building on their modeling career or something outside of their modeling career?
So I believe that in this society, and unfortunately, that it's important to have many hustles. I think the only people who don't have multiple hustles are like surgeons or lawyers. So definitely have more than one. If you want to pursue modeling with all you got, make that your main focus. But definitely develop your skill set in multiple fields.
Yeah. Just to piggyback is definitely true. Having many hustles, just for my own experience, starting with modeling, ended up dancing professionally, ended up doing so many things that opened the door. So modeling opened up the door for many different platforms that I'm so blessed to have been able to pursue. So definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I think it's just becoming that sort of new age idea that modeling isn't a career choice that maybe you can rely on 100%, and maybe you need to build on something else like acting or dancing, like you said, or starting your own business, your own coaching program. Christopher is a photographer, and he started a coaching program. So it can still be in the vicinity, in my opinion, of the modeling industry.
Yeah.
But to have something else, I agree with. I think you should have something else.
Yeah, and to add on to that, I feel like models are constantly acting as well. I know Alex Kasani, one of her first main gigs was being an extra in a music video. So just really diversify, really look at how you can get your name out there and what you want your brand to look like too.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
Definitely.
So you guys are both really, really experienced, and I know you both have worked with other models at the same time on same shoots and projects. So I just want to delve into this because Christopher asked me this the other day, and I was like, I don't know. During group settings, have you ever felt like you were being outshined or you were outshining the other models? And how did you deal with those feelings respectfully and responsibly? I know that was like long-winded, right? That was long. I'm sorry.
So I've definitely been in plenty of rooms where I was not the shiniest person in the room by far. And I think it's important to recognize that those, deeper feelings can happen, those insecurities, they're thoughts, and your actions are important. And to recognize that you can learn from these people that are doing better than you, or like, not better, but like have gone farther in their career. And recognize that modeling takes time. If you have that, like, if you are that star, that's because you had put time and effort and energy into that, and to respect that. And you can always learn from anyone. And I just feel grateful at all to be doing this. Like I said, I started really late, and I never thought I'd get to this point. So I'm just excited to be in the same room as a pretty woman. So, yeah.
Okay, I have like a little different take.
Okay.
So I played sports. I'm a little competitive. Not gonna hold you.
I agree.
Yeah. So when I do see a girl that has like that spunk, like everyone's gearing towards her, I'm like watching her, and I'm like really not admiration.
Admiration.
Thank you, baby. But it's more so to study, because we're in those rooms, and you are picked for a reason to be in that room. So I think the real goal for that is to see the people you may think are better than you. And modeling, one thing I love is that it's not about being better. Like a lot of the times it's your look, it's your energy. Like it's not about your size, your height. Because I'm only 5'7", and baby, I've walked all these runways. Okay. So height isn't a thing, weight isn't a thing. A lot of the time it's gonna be your energy. And so when I see these girls in these rooms, especially when I first started modeling, and I'm like, okay, like everyone's looking at you. It's a little nerve-wracking because you're being judged constantly. That's all modeling kind of this industry is to be judged, but how to be able to take that in and to be able to accept it. And what do you do with that energy? What do you do with that? What you do is you express that. So when I see these people in that room, I'm like, wow, like look at her, look at that confidence. Like look at that, her shoulders are back, her everything's tight and everything. I'm like, okay. I learned something today. Even if I didn't get the casting, I learned something today, which is gonna make me better for my next casting. Yeah. So I look at it like that.
I agree with both of you, both having a positive attitude and being hungry enough to not fall into like a jealousy pit, but like an inspiration pit.
Yes.
And like, I'm going to take everything you embody and I'm going to create that for myself in my own way. So I 100% agree with both of you.
Yeah,
like,
definitely inspiration over
Exactly.
competitive.
Very inspiration.
I have had moments where I felt like I was more skilled or experienced in the room.
Yeah.
The way you deal with those emotions, just always walk with gratefulness, like you said.
Every time.
And grace and understanding. And if somebody asks you a question, just answer the question with honesty and fulfillment, and your heart is just full of love. Yeah. So 100%, I agree with both of your answers. Like, that was a great answer. So let's just backtrack a little bit, okay? So you're all both experienced. We just want to know, some of us in this room just want to know, how do you start? Where do you start? Like, what if you were brand new, what was the first step you would take?
I think if I was brand new, I think I started very strangely. I started as a go-go dancer, I'll be honest. That's how I started. So I was definitely...
That's a stage, baby.
Yeah, so I learned how to be on stage and that stage presence. And I think, honestly, I wouldn't have changed it at all. If I was just starting, I would pursue it with everything I got, like I did when I first started. I just decided, and once you decide, you do it. And there's just no other way of going about it. I felt like I was working on borrowed time, and I wanted to get my name out there as quickly as possible. So when I first started, I pursued it with everything I got.
Yeah. Thank you for that. That's an honest overview, that many people can relate to as well. I'll say to starting. I think when you start, especially if you don't come from a background, is being hungry. A lot of people, when they start in this industry, they feel like, oh, well, I deserve this. I deserve that. I deserve to be paid for this. I can't do this because I'm not getting paid, right? I cannot tell you how many countless of non-paid opportunities I started with before I got my big break, before I started. Because why? You need to show people you have a portfolio. What am I hiring you for if I don't know what you can do? Why would I pay you? When you get on set, people aren't going to be teaching you how to pose, do this, do that, fix your face. They're paying you to be there and produce. You know, it's time. Time is money. So to reframe back to your question, is to be hungry in the beginning. If that's just going on Pinterest, if that's going on Instagram and you see your favorite models or you see inspiration, you save it. You know what? I'm going to practice in the mirror just like this person. I see their style. Form your own style, you know, and be different, because being different is going to make you stand out than anything. You know why? Because you being different is bringing something to a project that they don't already have. So really cultivating who you are as a brand and putting that energy into yourself, and it's always going to transpire into your work.
I agree. I also wanted to say, I think what I actually did when I first started, it's related. I would find photographers in the Bay Area, like hashtag Bay Area photo.
Yeah.
I'd look for them. I'd follow, and I'd be like, hey, can I work with you, please?
You want trade work?
Exactly.
They need photos too.
Yeah, and if you're not already on Backstage, casting networks, looking for modeling gigs on there, do that. If you're a content creator on Instagram, there's a creator discover section that you can go to find UGC work if you're interested in that. There's also Indeed. Look on Indeed for modeling jobs. I'm not even kidding.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Upwork.
Okay, that's the plug right there. I want to know that.
I'm hustling. I'm an independent woman. Like I need all the money, I can possibly find. So look for jobs there. Where else? And definitely network. Ask for people. Hey, how did you get into that job? What are you doing? How are you doing that?
Your network is your net worth.
Yes.
For real.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, period. I like both of your answers. I definitely would say just be hungry enough to invest in yourself in all areas.
Yeah.
Your time, your energy, everything. It needs to be an investment if this is what you want to do.
Yes.
So that is my tidbit of advice. Just be hungry enough to learn all you can learn. Invest in yourself.
Be humble. Because people remember you on sets. And they will call you back if they love you.
Right. They will. They will.
Very, very
You don't have
true.
to go to the casting. They'll just call you.
Literally. So I have a deep question for you two. And I think a lot of us in here feel this very personally. I know I do. How do you guys feel about the phrase that a model is just a blank canvas or just a mannequin or the hanger? How do you guys feel about that? Yeah.
So we are that, right? So when a designer puts clothes on us, that's what we are. We are going to be a blank canvas. But our job is to bring it to life. So that's where that personality, I feel like, comes from. You are a blank canvas until you bring your personality to why they hired you to be there, not be a mannequin.
Right.
I'd have to agree. Yeah, that was very well put. I'd also say that there are some certain people that have they seem to have a personality, so they get typecasted for those roles. So, my friend who's 6'5" and covered in tattoos and has little bedazzled things on her teeth, she gets typecasted a lot.
Yeah.
So that happens too. So I think a little bit of personality happens, but it's what you take with that role and how you develop it is where your personality is supposed to come out. You are supposed to be a chameleon as a model.
That is very interesting. I wanted to add my input, but I'd rather ask another question. So what do you do, and this might be a question, you might relate to this as well, but as a person with darker skin, what do you do in a situation where your makeup is not to your liking? Now,
You see my phone? I have multiple videos. I just decided not to post them.
Okay, wait. Okay, pause. Because this is a two-parter. Because this also can be in makeup ways, or it can be just in the outfit or the standard. If you are getting paid for a shoot, but you don't like what's going on, how do you handle that? Do you just I got paid already, so I'm gonna do my job, or do you speak up? How do you handle that?
Leia?
Take a moment. Matter of fact, Jack, you answer first.
You want me to say? I'll let her start. Are you ready?
Okay, so this is how I look at it. I look at the end goal. The end goal is this. When you get your pictures back, when you get that footage back, no one is ever going to look at you like, oh, the makeup artist messed her up. Oh, they messed her up. No, they're going to like, she looks crazy. Okay? You know, she looks crazy. You take ownership of that because at the end of the day, you looked at yourself before you went out there. So I feel like in my sense, I respectfully, always humbleness. But, you know, you do have to bring things to attention, and that's your right as a model. Like, as a model and as a person. You know, I feel like this industry sometimes makes you feel like you're just do this, which is fine. But also, too, you are a person. You know how you like to look, and you know what's presentable for yourself. You get ready every single day. You know how you're supposed to look. So, to piggyback also on what you're saying is, like, when that has happened to me, LA Fashion Week, no shade. But I just respect them, like, hi, I look like this, can I take this off? And then they'll see, like, head of makeup. Hey, like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. Can I work with someone else? And they know they're artists, you know, that they gear towards darker skin makeup. So I think it's more of a communicative thing to at least stand up for yourself, because a lot of people don't stand up for themselves. They don't want to speak out because they don't want to be a problem. But at the end of the day, the designer's going to see those photos, and that's a problem. So I'd rather just pick the problem out in the beginning, be humble enough to just, you know, speak
What do you
up.
think, Jack? Because I have an opposite opinion from that.
Oh.
I do.
Okay. I know some people who have, like, honestly just gone into the back room, just done it themselves at LA Fashion Week.
Me?
Because, yeah.
Me too. Look,
And I have a tendency, because I'm very pale, to get this peach stuff all over me, and I look like an Oompa Loompa. Like, it happens all the time, actually. So I have to, like, be very, you know, like, be like, I don't want to look orange. Please don't make me look orange. But I have been very orange many times. And in LA Fashion Week. And I just walked the runways, said thank you. I was humble, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't want to cause a scene.
Yeah.
And my outfit was also orange. So it was just,
oh,
I was just all,
tangerine season.
yes. So, but the pictures weren't too horrible. They,
Yeah.
like, color corrected them. So,
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Live with
I
it.
only say my opinion is opposite is because, honey, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If I'm getting paid, it don't matter to me.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, if I'm on this campaign and y'all pay me $2,000 for this campaign, my bill is paid for the month. I don't know what I'm complaining about here. I really don't. Can y'all relate? I got paid, honey. So in that sense, it's different. When you are doing a shoot for something to put in your portfolio, obviously you want it to look good, right? So yeah, no, can you fix this real quick? I don't want all that, you know what I'm saying? But if you're doing a photo shoot and you're getting paid for it, honey, take that money. Take that money. They might call you back for another job in the future, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, in my opinion, if I'm getting paid, I won't say nothing. This is your stuff. This is your stuff. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Can the church say amen? Okay, thank you.
She crazy.
yeah.
She crazy. Keep the client happy. No, you guys, seriously, on a serious note, if we're doing collaborations or jobs where we're not getting paid and the portfolio work as models, that is most important for us. The portfolio work, it's not seeming like it's coming out that's going to be worth for our portfolio. Either you need to be charging or you need to say something, because it's free work. And all you're getting back are portfolio pictures. And if you can't put them in your portfolio, that's an issue. So still being respectful, as these ladies have reminded us, please be respectful, but please be able to articulate yourself in a way that you're able to stand up for yourself and let them know, like, hey, and this is not matching, or this is too much here, can we please tone it down? That sort of thing. So yeah. We kind of all have, like, merging opinions, I think.
No, because I'm like you a little bit sometimes. But girl, as a dark skinned girly, when that base is not right, baby, you are not gonna catch me on nobody's campaign looking like that.
$3,500. They put $3,500 in your hand.
Let me just do my foundation. Y'all can do everything else.
Oh, that's another tip. That's another
real.
tip. Always bring your own foundation
Every
color.
time.
Every
Yes,
time.
every time.
It don't matter who's doing your makeup, what campaign it is. Just bring it, because makeup artists, we heard this the other day, makeup artists, they don't mind using your foundation. That saves them money. You know what I mean? They don't got to waste their products. So bring your foundation color every single time. Concealer if you feel like you need it. But yeah, every single time. That'll avoid the mess.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I do want to open it up for questions. I think we have time for 2 or 3 questions from the crowd, okay? You can ask these 2 ladies anything you want, and they will answer it, okay? I see y'all hands shooting up already. Okay, y'all excited? Christopher, go ahead and grab a mic. He's going to walk around. He's going to hand you guys a mic. Again, I just want to thank you 2 ladies for coming up here and speaking with us. Do another round of applause. Another one for the ladies. Thank you. Thank you, Jack. Go ahead, Chris. I'll give you the power. Choose whoever you want.
All right, test,
Don't
test.
be biased.
See, a lot of hands just went up. Eeny, meeny. All right, you're the first person I saw, honestly, so here you go.
Hi, I'm Antonio, and I want to ask, what was the biggest challenge for you guys when starting?
You want me to go first? Okay.
Sure.
My biggest challenge was finding the motivation to stay consistent. And I got to a point in my career where I was just like, I want to be signed, I want to be signed. Let me apply to this one agency and then wait 7 months and never hear anything back. I'm like, oh, dang, didn't hear anything back. Let me apply to one more agency and then wait 7 more months. And it just was not consistent. Same thing with my photo shoots, same thing with the quality of my photo shoots. So once I was able to break out of that unmotivated space and start becoming more consistent, shooting more often, having a standard for my quality, and applying to agencies back to back. Y'all keep applying. Stop stopping. Then I was able to see success. Then I was able to see growth. So kind of get over that hump of not being consistent. Tag.
I'm it. I feel like the beginning for myself is sometimes understanding the goal. What's your path? What do you want to do? Like, what type of model do you want to be? Do you want to be a fitness model? Do you want to be a cosmetic, like beauty, lifestyle? And I feel like when you find that, I think that was the hardest part for me, because I was just shooting to shoot. I was just taking photos, basically trying to figure out my niche. And then I think that was one of the hardest things, was like figuring out what your lane is. And then you can really dictate and take advantage of exactly who you need to get in contact with, what photographers are going to fit your brand. Yeah.
That's important. Chris is a big advocate of The One Thing. If you have not read that book, please search it up. It's called The One Thing. He made me read it. I was forced. No, I'm just kidding. I love the book. It's great. I was challenged to read it, but it's a very good book.
I'd say for me, my biggest challenge was battling the people in my personal life to become a model. I think I had a lot of judgment from people in my life, and so and like trying to balance those like interpersonal relationships while I was starting, because I was starting to prioritize it a lot, and people change, you know, like I was changing. So I think that was the hardest thing for me, was like figuring out my work-life balance while I was pursuing this side hustle, while I had this other job. And I have so many hustles. Like, there was just another one that was taking up my time. You know what I mean? Yes. So I was like, that was the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah. That was a good, thank you. Thank you for the question. Yeah, we'll take one more question. I still do, if you guys don't know.
I saw a hand go up. Shoot right over here first. Let's see how much time we got. We got some time. Go.
Okay, sure. Maybe 2 more questions.
Look.
Greetings, ladies. Thank you for answering our questions. Could you tell me about like your favorite shoot so far and why it was your favorite?
Ooh, that's a fun question. Do you want to start?
I want to say, it's me?
Yeah. No.
Okay. I want to say when I first moved to Los Angeles, it was for Carl Kanai. He was a designer, mostly in the 90s, but very world-renowned. And he was just fabulous. Why it was so great was I was his fit model for size smalls. So everybody who wore a small that season, baby, it was to my body. No, but just having good energy on set and feeling so comfortable and being able to express and be artistic is one of my biggest positives.
Okay. Do you have a favorite?
I'm still trying to decide.
Okay. I actually am stuck in between two. One is with Christopher because I love that shoot to pieces. If you've seen my Instagram, it's like pinned on the top. It's been pinned since I took the pictures. The angel shoot in gold. Decked out in a gold outfit designed by Nicole. And she's actually here today. She's a vendor. And she will be dressing me for day 2 for all the Diamond members. Big old gold wings. It was gorgeous. Loved the shoot. Loved the outcome. But there is a second one, Challenger, okay? I'll admit, it was a campaign for Alala fitness wear. And it was my first large production scale campaign that I had booked freelance. So, yeah, it was very professional. Whole team. I mean, they had an assistant for the assistant. And, I mean, it was just dressing rooms. And it was shot at the studio. Again, we're going to go there tomorrow for day 2 people. And it was beautiful. Like, oh, my goodness. And I got video content out of it, too. So, amazing.
Amazing. So I think my favorite shoot when it comes to like paid work or, industry standard was for Kenneth Reinhardt, who featured actually these boots in Harper's Bazaar. So yeah, I think that one was a really cool shoot. It was in like this, I don't know, like over the top, decorative hotel in LA, and that was a great shoot. I think my favorite shoot I've ever done, because I do photography and styling, I put together this hairpiece and put together an entire like creative shoot for House of Puglielli. And it was like gold themed, and I was able to retouch and work with the photographer, and I put like gold, like sand coming out of my hands, and I was the model. And I think that was like the most like, ooh, I got to do every part that I wanted to do, So I really like that shoot.
Yeah, hit up Jack if you need literally anything. Anything, literally anything. Do you have time for one more?
We have time for one more question.
Okay, one more question.
One more. I want this to be a challenging question.
Flip a coin. Challenge us.
She pointed at you. Okay, you got your hand waving. Here you go.
Good question too. Not wasting nobody's time. How do you deal with the rejection overall? Because it's a part of the process, and I feel like that's such a crucial part, like how you deal with it. Because I've had designers in New York where like they rejected me once, and I work with them again, and I'd be like, that's shade. But then I'm like, I'm also grateful for the opportunity. But just to sum it up, how do you handle that? And what are some tips that, just to continue on your journey? Because it is a part of the journey, essentially.
I feel like you, Tanale, may have faced a little bit more rejection. Not saying that in a bad way, but you've been, to across the seas and stuff. So how did you deal with that?
One thing you always have to keep in your mind is rejection is a way and a path for God. Well, is that appropriate? For redirection to where you need to be. I was just on live with Chris, and I had a story. It was my first Paris Fashion Week, and I signed it as an independent model. And I just remember there was this man from Peru. He was a designer. And mind you, I was probably like 125 pounds, so probably 15 pounds less than what I am now. And he looked at me, and he's like, sorry, I need a thinner and taller model than you. To my face, baby. And I'm like, yeah. Soaking, baby, soaking, right? I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Another designer ended up picking me. He was from France, and he had me do just a small runway walk, and he loved me. Great. I'm in the outfit right before we're going to go on, probably like an hour before showtime. And the same man that literally dismissed me, him and his assistant was sitting right on the side as I'm walking in my outfit, and they're just like, oh. Uh-huh. And then they ended up coming up to me like, oh, actually, we do want to use it. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. You know, so sometimes, like, as in modeling, people have to understand you're going to get way more no's than you're going to get yeses, but it has nothing to do with you as a person. It might not be the right look. Maybe it's not the right body type for this garment. You know, it has nothing to do with you, though. So I think that's the biggest thing when you deal with rejection. Like it's okay. Like, it's not the end of the world. Someone's going to say yes. Trust me.
Yes. I 100% agree. And I went through the same issue, I went through the same thing in New York.
Okay.
And I went to a casting, and the designer didn't even speak to me. They just and they whispered to the assistant, and the assistant came over and was like, sorry, we're looking for people taller. Oh, I was so hurt. And then, and then you watch another person who's like the same height or shorter than you, and they get it. But, besides the point. That's besides the point. The point is I've dealt with things like that too. And again, just not taking it personally. This is one of Christopher's favorite phrases to tell me is, do not take it personal. They want what they want when they want it. And if you are not what they want, they won't pick you. Okay?
That's okay.
You belong in the room when they pick you to be in the room. And that's it, and that's all, So don't take it personally. Understand, like Tandalea said, it's just a redirection.
Every time.
I 100% agree. And honestly, at this point, like, if I get a no, I'm kind of happy because that means I'm in the room and I'm there and I'm trying, because I'm I'm actually a little bit socially reclusive. So, like, if I'm there and I say no, I'm like, oh my God, I made it out here and I got a no. Wow. But it's taken me years to get to that point. And it actually happened in New York Fashion Week. When I was at FDLA, I was putting on this giant dress that was like huge, and the designer was like, no, I don't like your tattoo, which happens all the time. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. And her assistant loved my attitude so much that he convinced her to let me walk in the dress. So it's all about your attitude.
Every time.
Yeah.
100%. And I don't know why you're saying you're socially reclusive. You're on stage talking in front of all these eyes. No, you did an amazing job, and you did as well, Tandalea. Thank you again so much. Let's give one more round of applause for the ladies. Thank you so much. You can exit to the left there. And we're going to introduce our agencies up on stage. But first, I'm going to allow Chris to come back on here, say a few words, and transition us into our next panel. Good job, ladies. I'll take it. Yes.
All right. Test. Thank you all again for being there, speaking. That was a lot of knowledge, a lot of shared information. I know a lot of you had questions. So the questions that didn't get answered, if you're VIPing up, you'll get a chance to talk more during our networking event at the end. Of course, you can talk with them as well during our lunch hour, but we might be eating at that time. So give yourself a little break to enjoy the event a bit more.